My name is Carmen Coto Santiago, known as Lisi, and I'm in Lilising Barrera.
What do you want to share with the public today?
What I would like to share with the public is that I am a childhood sexual abuse trauma survivor. And many adults who have suffered from sexual abuse in our childhood, our lives and decision making are affected, and nobody understands why until you realize what's the root of your problem.
And why do you want to share this information?
This is a very sensitive topic, and what I have learned is through my writings, I have found peace and healing. And what I found out is that, like my family, that we don't dare talk about such conversations. I need to be able to speak to my children about the conversation, and I also should be able to speak freely to others in order to break barriers, to break taboos, to break generational curses that exist within our families. Many things that are happening in the community, we don't think about what's really, why am I drinking? Why am I using drugs? Why am I, whatever it may be, or acting? I used to react and yell at everybody and didn't even know why I did it.
And this was due to your trauma?
And this was I was fighting the world. And I knew I was fighting the world. But I did not know what was there until I got older. So in my writings, when I realized that I was praying to God, was saying, hey, I need help. Please help me because I'm having a bad day with the kids. But
you're a mother.
I'm a mother. But also I remember going, in one of the writings that's in the book, I went to church, and there was a light that represented the Holy Spirit in that church. And I was so angry and so mad at God for everything that I was going through that I looked at that light and I grabbed my kids. I said, let's get the heck out of here. So the relationship that I have with God is a friendly relationship. He's my friend. So if I'm mad at my friend and I'm going to argue with you, I argue with God. If it's, hey, thank you because everything started falling into place and you're guiding my steps, thank you, then that's my precious. There's many times that I was crying. Why is this happening? There's still a question that I always say, why didn't I deserve to have my household, my children all together, and my husband, family, a whole family structure? And that's a question that I always have with him. But I've been able to develop trust. And at the point that I am now is discipline. How is Lisi, which I wrote in my book many times, discipline? I don't know nothing about discipline. I still do whatever I want to do at times. One thing that I would like to talk about with you is about the reason I wrote my book. I have a memoir called Victoria's My Conversations with God. In the past, that same book I had written as Choices, My Conversations with God. It was a first step. I didn't think I was ever going to write a book. And what happened was that while I was transcribing my journals onto a small little laptop, I was not born in Puerto Rico, I was enjoying mi campito, and I was just transcribing them. And what ended up happening is I remember crying through some of the experiences and reliving every experience. And I realized there was a beginning and an end. I realized I wrote prayers. I didn't know that I was writing in prayers.
But you consider yourself a religious woman?
I am a religious woman. Yes, I am very Catholic because in my Catholic faith, When we were growing up in my stage of life, they used to say, ten cuidado, God is going to punish you. My mother never taught us that. My mother always, and my father, taught us that God was a loving God and He loved us no matter what. So for many people, I don't know what their religion or whatever their faith is, but I grew up having a relationship with God. And it changed as I got older.
So can you tell us a little bit about how did this trauma, scientifically has been proven that trauma impacts the body, including our dear brain. How did it manifest for you?
The way trauma manifested in me at first, I used to run and jog. One day I woke up and I fell. And of course they gave me all these different diagnoses. I couldn't figure, I used to get very fatigued. Finally I get a diagnosis of fibromyalgia. And the way that I learned with fibromyalgia is like a spider that has a whole bunch of legs coming out. So fibromyalgia developed my body, where my brain, fog brain. I couldn't think, fog thinking. I was, my intestines, IBS, my spine, because of all the tension that I carried inside, and because of genetics. Now I needed, my cervical is not even mine no more. They had to replace everything and do surgery there. So from here to here, I'm here, but right now there's so many procedures within the next week that are minor that I have to have in order for me to live a healthy life. And my eating habits were terrible, and they are still terrible. So I'm learning, relearning now that I'm feeling healing and seeing the importance of things. But at the same time, I think, how much damage have I done to my body because of all the emotional stress that was locked inside of me? And I say the heart because we focus on the heart, but it's really our brain, our spirit, everything, mind, soul, and body. We are one, and all of that affected me.